In this video, I'll share with you a pretty simple way to work with the booster bot and always catch high volatility. So, after watching this video, you'll be able to make very quick and profitable trades with this robot during periods of high volatility. So get comfortable and let's dive into this video. To catch this very volatility, we'll use the momentum indicator. But first, let's open a practical trade on the pound sterling to US dollar currency pair. Here, we have a pretty good movement, a good moment to make some profit, and I'm getting a sell signal. So, I'm opening my sell trade. Now, let's figure out what's happening here. First of all, obviously, we're going to work based on our signal. But here's the next question. What exactly does the momentum indicator do? Momentum shows us how quickly the price is moving. So, if its value is close to zero right now, it means the price is most likely standing still. If it's high or way down low somewhere, then we have a strong upward or downward movement, respectively. So, when you see that the momentum is either high or low, that's actually a good entry point for a 1-minute trade. In other words, this strategy is designed specifically for 1-minute trades. Accordingly, the higher the volatility, the better it is for us. Because in 1 minute, we'll be able to catch really big moves. With low volatility, for example, we might only get -2 or even -5 points. That would be our maximum. But with such high volatility, we catch a strong move and end up making almost $1,800. Great! Let's look at another example and set up this indicator. For the next currency pair, let's pick the British pound and Japanese yen. The movement here looks pretty good, quite active. So I choose a 1-minute signal and now I'm waiting for the direction from the robot. I get a buy signal, and look, don't be alarmed if your momentum indicator is either all the way at the bottom or all the way at the top. Basically, it doesn't really matter to us where this asset is pointing right now. This is essentially the equivalent of volume on TradingView. So, if we go to TradingView, you'll see the volume at the bottom here. So, this indicator with these settings is basically the equivalent of those volumes. It's just a simplified version right on Pocket Options, so you can even use it from your phone. But for the actual direction, we look at the trading robot. So, we get a buy signal. We can clearly see that the momentum is quite far from the zero line, so we can confidently open a buy trade. That's the simple, effective algorithm. A great trade brings me another $1,200. Now, let's figure out precisely how to add this particular indicator and then set it up. To add this essential indicator, you simply need to go to the Indicators tab and then click on Momentum. So, you add it, but by default it will have different parameters. That's why we add it and then need to configure it. You can get the settings for this indicator right now via the link in the description. I'll leave it in our Telegram channel. I specifically shared these settings with the subscribers of our community. So if you want to get ready-made settings, ready-made indicators, and also ready-made strategies even more often, then subscribe to our Telegram channel. That's where you'll find all the most interesting stuff. The link to our Telegram channel is in the description, so join it and grab the settings for this indicator. They're pretty simple, yet still very much effective for our overall trading strategy. There will also be a direct link to the booster bot, so please go ahead and activate it along with this particular indicator, as it will greatly assist your trading endeavors. Let's look at a few more examples. Look, I'm going to skip this currency pair for now, because even though it seems like there's a decent movement, the momentum is actually right around zero. In other words, we're pretty much just standing still here. That's why I skipped this currency pair. If I see a currency pair, for example, like the British pound and Canadian dollar, then I can get a signal here. I select the British pound/Canadian dollar currency pair and set the trade time to 1 minute. Now I just wait for the signal. As we can see, the momentum is positioned very well at the bottom. And from here, the booster bot gives me a buy signal, so we can expect a decent upward movement. So look, the principle is actually really simple. The further the momentum is from zero, from this middle line, the better it is for us. The closer it is, the less safe our trades will be. Let me explain why. This method is suitable for trading on 3-minute or 5-minute intervals. So, specifically in this range, from 3 to 5 minutes, because the price might make a very, very small move, and as a result, we won't end up in profit. And to trade quickly on the 1-minute chart, we need volatility. And that's exactly what momentum does. As I mentioned, it shows us this volatility. An excellent trade brings me $2,000 in profit, and as you can see, this strategy really works. So, for 1-minute trades, if you can't see the volumes yourself, although you can spot them on the chart with experience, it's still better to use the momentum indicator. Here, for example, the price is barely moving at all. It seems like it's moving, but at the same time, it's just standing still. If you have any doubts, it's definitely better to skip this pair. Overall, there aren't that many currency pairs that fit this strategy, but the ones that do really show good volume, just like here, you can trade them very conveniently on the 1-minute time frame. Let's take a look at another trade. Again, it's the British pound and Japanese yen. Even though the payout is small here, my goal right now isn't to make big percentages. My goal is to earn safely. That's why we choose this currency pair. And now we wait for the bot to analyze this pair. I select a 1-minute trade time and now wait for a signal from the robot. I get a sell signal. Basically, we have a good downward movement here, so we can really enter the trade well. By the way, I forgot to mention that we'll be using 15-second candles. If you want really sniper entry points, then use 5-second candles. But here you also need to be more careful with volatility, because it can change very quickly, especially on 5-second candles. That's why it's better to use 1 minute and 15 seconds for the candle time. An excellent final trade brings me a good profit, and as you can see, we can even sum up a bit and conclude that this strategy really works very well. So all you need to do is simply activate the booster bot using the link in the description. Then, get the settings from our Telegram channel and, accordingly, continue working with this strategy. In other words, this tool is just perfect for high volatility. That's why I'm leaving all the useful links in the description. Be sure to activate this robot if you also want to earn with it, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video.